right, so here we are again. Welcome to Live with Lisa Swamp Drainage live stream, and I'm also recording it on my computer because last time I tried to record, I did the live video on YouTube, and YouTube decided not to allow me to upload it. So I'm not expecting more than two viewers on YouTube, unfortunately, because of the shadow banning, ongoing shadow banning problem with YouTube. But those of you that are watching on Periscope, I just want to thank you so much. Also, usually the people on Periscope, hello, William. That's very nice of you. I'm not going to be conversing too terribly much with you on because I've got a lot of information I want to bring out there about this is a service I do for people that don't subscribe to Twitter, and those of you watching on Periscope obviously subscribe to Twitter, so it kind of doesn't really help them much. It would be nice if YouTube would allow me to keep the videos up. So, but that's okay. We're going to have it, share it. I'm going to share it on my Facebook page and on my blog, conservativelisa.blogspot.com. If you want to update yourself, if you are watching this and you are not a subscriber to Twitter, but you'd like to know what our president has to say on Twitter, then this is a great resource for you to do that, and also to find out what's going on behind the scenes in this ongoing battle against yeah, I have no Twitter, so thanks, Lisa. Oh, well, that's nice. I've got somebody actually that's watching my YouTube live stream. Well, thank you so much. I really want to appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so anyway, if you guys want to talk to me about, talk to each other a little bit more once I start getting going, don't be offended that I'm not commenting on your comments, but I love to read the comments afterwards. And please comment below. And if you're watching this YouTube channel, one of the 5 or 6 people that are watching this YouTube channel, please comment underneath. And if you watch this after tonight, which is Saturday night, the 21st of July, then please comment how many views there are and how many likes and dislikes there are on this on the video, because that is the number one way in which the establishment prevents people like myself from getting the truth out there. Is they only want you watching mainstream media, they only want you digesting the information from mainstream media, and so their number one thing is to just ignore you. I have managed over 10 political campaigns for Congress, Senate, and statewide attorney general race, and they ignore you. They won't interview you. They will give you zero free, what's called free media, when they write a story about you in the newspaper or put you on the TV news at night, because they don't want anybody to find out about you. So don't take offense, please look into videos that interest you on YouTube that may not have very many views, because that is their number one way. They make, if there's fewer views, then there's fewer people that are interested. Hi, somebody, thanks so much for but there's fewer people that'll watch the video, fewer people that'll learn the news and information that's included inside the video. And so, like in my case, I've had my YouTube channel on since 2006, so over 10 years, and they took my ability to put ads on it away from me after freezing views on most of my videos anyway. So they just freeze it. You'll watch the video, go to another video, watch it, come back, and you'll see that the time that you watched it before never added to the view count. The view count is stuck, frozen still. So anyway, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now let's get to the news. If you want to, if you're not aware of my blog, it's conservativelisa.blogspot.com. At the very top, there is a page that says Trump's True Tweets and More. So go to that and you can look at the previous Trump tweets and get all the Trump tweets, because I'm reading them. And the last time I did this was a week ago, well, almost a week ago, Sunday night, the 15th. So now I'm going to start with the 16th. So on the 16th, first Trump tweet that he said on the 16th was, "It was an honor to join you this morning. Thank you." And that was to TK Casilia, President and Mrs. Jen, anyway, I don't know who that is, but anyway, he met with somebody, probably the head of the Helsinki government. And then, because this is when, he's in Helsinki to go meet with Putin. This seems like an eternity ago, but it's actually fairly recently. And oh, if anybody can watch, I used to be an actress. Well, I still am, professional actress, but those are years and years and years ago. But they are me, believe it or not. God was very nice to me. I have no regrets, but can't take any credit for it. My parents were attractive. Okay, so now moving on. Joint press conference from Helsinki, Finland. So it must have been the president and first lady of Finland. Okay, so then he's got a video, and the video is just like a really nice little video, collage of all the events with a little bit, him arriving and in the beast, which is this limo that he apparently really needs because there's been so many, I believe, so many attempts on his life just since he's been running. People do not like the Donald because he's messing with the bad people, and hopefully he'll bring them all to justice soon. So anyway, next one is, as I said today and many times before, I have great confidence in my intelligence people. However, I also recognize in order to build a brighter future, we cannot exclusively focus on the past. As the world's two largest nuclear powers, we must get along. Helsinki 2018. And then there's a picture of him standing with Putin, and then the this is a meme, and then on the side it says, "I would rather take a political risk in pursuit of peace than to risk peace in pursuit of politics." I would and then he says that above that, and then the next meme is a picture of him sitting across the table with Bolton and other officials, and on the opposite side is, of course, Vladimir Putin, and it says in the picture. Caption is, "A productive dialogue is not only good for the United States and good for Russia, but it's good for the world." So that's great. And then we go on to the next one. We're still on the 16th. We'll be interviewed on Sean Hannity tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and Tucker Carlson tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Enjoy! Exclamation point. Then he says, those of you that are watching this on YouTube, just so, since you don't do Twitter, if you don't do Twitter, maybe that's why you're watching. He's only allowed to say a certain number of characters in each one of his tweets. Sometimes he'll have more to say, so he'll put ... at the end, and then he'll go on to the next part. So anyway, keep that in mind. So now we are on to the 17th. So we're on to Tuesday. I had a great meeting with NATO. They have paid $33 billion more and will pay hundreds of $billions more in the future, only because of me. NATO was weak, but now it is strong again. Bad for Russia, in parentheses. The media only says I was rude to leaders, never mentions the money. They'd just be happy to have us just continue to be taken advantage of, the news media. Okay. That's referring to when he sat across the table from him and said, "Hey, look at this. This is, you guys are barely paying anything. We're paying like 70% of this cost of this. You agreed when we set up NAFTA to each person pay, I think 2% of your GDP. We're paying over 4% of the GDP. Of course, our GDP is much, their GDP, our United States, I'm just saying this myself, our GDP is much bigger." But, and then he sat there, and it's so true. Germany is not paying the full amount, although they are paying more than most of them, I think, as I understand it. But they're paying, and the whole NATO is set up to protect them against Vladimir Putin and Russia. And they're buying 70% of their energy from Russia through the Russian pipeline. So wait a minute. So we're all supposed to build up our military and protect against Russia, but yet you're in business with Russia. It makes no sense. So that's why he's rude. He's considered rude, so if you haven't seen that. Okay, so then the next one on the 17th. Well, I had a great meeting with NATO, raising vast amounts of money. I had an even better meeting with Vladimir Putin of Russia. Sadly, it is not being reported that way. The fake news is going crazy. And at the end of this video, I am going to play for you a video of the very end of the the conference, the news conference that Vladimir and the Donald had. And oh, it's just priceless. It's priceless. That's why the news media is going apoplectic and making these outrageous claims. I mean, they literally are going insane. So anyway, back to the deal. So, okay, so the fake news is actually going crazy. So the next one is, thank you, Rand Paul. The president has gone through a year and a half of totally partisan investigations. What's he supposed to think? That's what Rand Paul said. And so Donald Trump's saying, thank you for saying that. He's quoting him basically. The economy of the United States is stronger than ever before. That's his next one. The meeting between President Putin and myself was a great success, except in the fake news media. This is why he has to do tweeting. And this is why if you don't tweet, it's really important that you follow the tweets, but I'm helping you out. I'm gonna keep posting them on my blog and on my YouTube channel. Follow my YouTube channel and click on the little bell thing so that when I do these live videos, if you want to see them live, you can. I usually do them about once a week. So, my blog is conservativelisa.blogspot.com. Okay, so the next one. The Democrats want to abolish ICE, which will mean more crime in our country. I want to give ICE a big cheer. Vote Republican in November. That's what he's really waiting for. I think he's not really going to be able to drain the swamp until he sees how many Republicans we send back to him in the election. So get out and support your local Republican. And if you haven't had your primary yet, make sure you vote for the most conservative person in the Republican primary, not necessarily the incumbent, because a lot of the incumbents have already been compromised. They're part of the swamp, unbeknownst to you. So, okay, in November, let's see. Prosperity is returning. Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he would do as a candidate. This is in quotes, so he's quoting somebody else. He's quoting Lou Dobbs. As a candidate. Now, as the most effective president, the most successful president in modern history. Thank you to the great, and then Trump says, thank you to the great Lou Dobbs. That was a quote from Lou Dobbs. Then so many people at the higher ends of intelligence loved my press conference in Helsinki. Putin and I discussed many important subjects at our earlier meeting. We got along well, which truly bothered many haters who wanted to see a boxing match. Big results will come. So that's great. See, they're just upset because he met in private with just the translators. Who knows what dirt Putin gave to Trump and Trump gave to Putin. The deep states, that's why they're going crazy. Oh, the sound of the jail cells locking shut, it just can't happen soon enough for these crooks. But okay, great results to come. So hopefully that's the great results to come. Next one, we're on the 18th. While the NATO meeting in Brussels was an acknowledged triumph, with billions of dollars more being put out by member countries at a faster pace, the meeting with Russia may prove to be, in the long run, an even greater success. Many positive things will come out of that meeting. Now, this ... and then the second part of that is Russia has agreed to help with North Korea, where relationships with us are very good and the process is moving along. There is no rush. The sanctions remain. Big benefits and exciting future for North Korea at end of process. So that's good. Okay, so next, congratulations to Martha Ruby of the great state of Alabama on her big GOP primary win for Congress. My endorsement came appropriately late, but when it came, the floodgates opened, and you had a kind of landslide victory that you deserve. Enjoy. Remember, we are not voting necessarily just as Republicans. We're voting for who's supported by Donald Trump. Okay. Enjoy. Okay, let's see. Okay, then next one, and we're still on the 18th. A lot of Democrats wish they voted for the tax cuts because the economy is booming. We could have 4% growth now, and the Fed said yesterday that unemployment could drop again. Some people hate, all caps, the fact that I got along with President Putin of Russia. They would rather go to war than see this. It's called Trump Derangement Syndrome, and I did an entire video on that. So if you follow my YouTube channel that you're watching this on, go ahead and look at all my YouTube videos. And the most previous one, I say the root cause of all the people that are afflicted with TDS. It might be kind of controversial, my supposition on that. But anyway, 3.4 million jobs created. That's amazing. Since our great election victory, far greater than ever anticipated and only getting better as new and greatly improved trade deals start coming to fruition. So that's great. Thank you so much for those of you that are watching me on both YouTube Live and Periscope. I really appreciate it. And please comment underneath. Thank you. It's a little break to do that. Okay, now we are still on the 18th. These are Donald Trump's tweets. And when he was in Scotland playing golf before his meeting with Putin, so sad. In remembrance, Special Agent Noel E. Remagen, this week, the U.S. Secret Service lost one of America's finest. We ask for your thoughts and your prayers for his family, friends, and colleagues. Forever worthy of trust and confidence. More, and then it's got a little link to video. And he's got a GoFundMe. His family's got a GoFundMe page, and it's Noel, N-O-L-E, and Remagen, M-R-E-M-A-G-E-N. And I wonder if there was something hinky that went on, because as you'll recall, there was a break in the perimeter of his club in Scotland where he was playing golf, and the Great Britain decided to allow a guy who had a air flight parasailing vehicle bring in a banner to try to embarrass Donald Trump, and they had to rush him, I guess, into the golf shop. And I hope that there wasn't something that was they tried to assassinate him or something, and this guy took it for him. I hope not. They said he just died of a stroke, so who knows? We'll just have to take it for what it is. But do keep him in their family in your prayers. Such a sacrifice. Anyway, back to we're still on the 18th. Donald Trump's next tweet is Brian Kemp is running for governor of the great state of Georgia. The primary is on Tuesday. Brian is tough on crime, strong on the border and illegal immigration. He loves our military and our vets and protects our Second Amendment. I give him my full and total endorsement. The next one I will not read because I am not a fan of the person he's endorsing. The two biggest opponents of ICE in America today are the Democratic Party and MS-13. They're the biggest opponents of ICE, of course, because ICE is arresting and kicking out and indicting these horrible people. And the Democrat Party wants as many horrible people in our country as possible because they can encourage them to vote for their horrible candidates. It's all horrible. Okay, so now on to the next, Donald Trump. This one is called a retweet. For those of you who don't do Twitter, that means he likes something that somebody else said so much that he retweets it. And this is from a guy named Alex Azar and Secretary Azar. I'm not sure exactly what he's a secretary of, but you guys, I'm sure, probably know. So go ahead and comment and put that in their little chat thing. So POTUS, at POTUS. Now, it's kind of interesting because all the other POTUSes, like President Bush and President Obama, they'll like put POTUS Obama or something like that, at POTUS Obama. And Trump's just great. He just says, at POTUS. There is no other POTUS. It's just... Oh God, just totally trolls the left. Okay, so anyway, it says at POTUS has made clear that it's time for drug companies to put American patients first. Novartis halting its prescription drug increase is a step in the right direction and a win for American patients. So that's great. So that was great. So they were going to raise Novartis Novartis, Novartis, was going to raise on their drugs and would be a hardship on us. And so he's always thinking about what's best for us. He's always thinking about trying to, he's running our country like it's his own, that all our tax dollars are his own money, and he's trying to make a successful company just like he's done his entire life. Okay, still on the 18th. He was very, and then this is the last one on the 18th. A total disgrace, this is Wednesday, a total disgrace that Turkey will not release a respected U.S. pastor, Andrew Brunson, from prison. He has been held hostage far too long. And this is to Erdogan, because Erdogan is the president of Turkey. Should do something to free this wonderful Christian husband and father. He has done nothing wrong, and his family needs him! Exclamation point. Look at him going to bat for our pastors. Obama just had him sit and rot in prison till he paid billions of dollars and gave him an excuse to pay billions of dollars in ransom. He wanted to get him the money anyway. It's gave him a good excuse to do it. Did Donald Trump pay any money to free the hostages from North Korea? No. Thank you to Novartis for and this is Donald Trump saying this, and this is the 19th. Thank you to Novartis for not increasing your prices on prescription drugs. Likewise to Pfizer. We are making a big push to actually reduce the prices, maybe substantially, on prescription drugs. Next one, the Democrats have a death wish in more ways than one. They actually want to abolish ICE. This should cost them heavily in the midterms. Yesterday, the Republicans overwhelmingly passed a bill supporting ICE. This is what keeps our borders safe, ICE. Next one. The fake news media is going crazy! Exclamation point. They make up stories without any backup, sources, or proof. Many of the stories written about me and the good people surrounding me are total fiction. Problem is, when you complain, you just give them more publicity. But I'll complain anyway! Exclamation point. He just did. He's the most entertaining president there ever was. I mean, he's just so entertaining. I love how he just talks directly to us. It's like we're sitting down in Trump, like before he became president, we got invited into Trump Tower to sit down in his office, and he's just telling us what he thinks. It's great stuff. Okay, next one. We're still on the 19th. The fake news media wants so badly to see a major confrontation with Russia, even a confrontation that could lead to war. They are pushing so recklessly hard and hate the fact that I'll probably have a good relationship with Putin. We are doing much, all caps, much better than any other country! Exclamation point. Then, this is in quotes. Yeah. Trump recognized Russian meddling many times, all caps. Thank you to Fox and Friends and Fox News for actually showing the clips. The fake news wants no part of that narrative. Too bad. They don't want to focus on all the all caps, economic and all caps jobs records being set. Yeah, that's true. It was great because Fox News just had a whole series of clips saying, well, I think the Russians have meddled. I think the Russians meddled. But they don't have anything else to say. They get up every morning and they just think, how can we twist whatever's happened in the world to make it look like Donald Trump's a terrible person? Why anybody watches that propaganda stuff is beyond my comprehension. You got to just get your news from YouTube. Really big jobs meeting today at the White House, 3 p.m. Okay, now this is proliferation of cyber attacks, trade, Ukraine, Middle East peace, North Korea, and more. There are many answers. Okay, wait, Trump starts. I'm sorry. This is a quote, and it's got a video. It says, Trump recognized Russian meddling many times. Proliferation, cyber attacks, trade, Ukraine, Middle East peace, North Korea, and more. There are many answers, and so easy, and some hard, and some easy, some hard. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. I legit am, so I'm not just saying that. To these problems, but they can all be solved. So I'm going to let you listen to this. I think you can see.
As far as hacking, I think it was Russian.
I'll turn this up.
But I think we also get hacked
This is
by
the clips.
other countries and other people. And I can say that, when we lost 22 million names and everything else that was hacked recently, they didn't make a big deal out of that. That was something that was extraordinary. That was probably China. We have much hacking going on. Well, I think it was Russia, and I think it could have been other people in other countries. Could have been a lot of people interfered. I think it was Russia, but I think it was probably other people and or countries. It was Russia, and I think it was probably others also. Well, the Russians had no impact on our votes whatsoever, but certainly there was meddling, and probably there was meddling from other countries and maybe other individuals.
So, let it not be said that he did not think that Russia was meddling in the elections. Did they change any of the votes? Are they responsible for Donald Trump winning? I'd have to say the answer is a big fat no. And that's why sometimes he gets sensitive. He doesn't like anybody taking away his accomplishments, or the accomplishments of us, the American people, who were smart enough to elect him. So anyway, my deepest sympathies, now this is back. My deepest sympathies to the families and friends of those involved in the terrible boat accident which took place in Missouri. Such a tragedy, such a great loss. My God, may God be with you all. May God be with you all! Exclamation point. And that was on the 20th. So it was Friday. That was so sad. Happened down in near Branson. And so anyway, now next one on the 20th. China, the European Union, and others have been manipulating the currency and interest rates lower, while the U.S. is raising rates, while the dollar gets stronger and stronger with each passing day, taking away our big competitive edge. As usual, not a level playing field. The United States should not be penalized because we are doing so well. Tightening now hurts all that we have done. The U.S. should be allowed to recapture what we lost due to illegal currency manipulations and, all caps, bad trade deals. Debt coming due, and we are raising rates? Really? Question mark. So that's addressed to the Fed, which is a private company, which is not part of the government, which we pay them to print the money, and then they loan it to us, and then we pay them interest on it. It's a scary world. So you just check that out. That's the source of all evil, and our founding fathers warned against it. And anyway, next one. Farmers have been on a downward trend for 15 years. The price of soybeans has fallen 50% since 5 years before the election. A big reason is bad, in parentheses, terrible, trade deals with other countries. They put on massive tariffs and barriers. Canada charges 275% on dairy. Farmers will win. Win is all in caps and exclamation point. Yeah. Let's see. Senate GOP breaks record on confirming Trump picks for key court. So this is an article, and it's got one of my least favorite people in Congress, Mitch McConnell, on the front. But, finally, he's been slow walking things. But see, that's Dan Bongino is great. If you should listen to his radio podcasts and his radio shows if you can. He's great. He used to be a Secret Service guy, and he ran for, I think, Senate in Maryland, but they rigged the election against him. I've been investigating election fraud for 18 years, and I can guarantee you they're rigging the elections. If you want to make sure your vote counts, ask for a paper ballot. What do we know about all computers? All computers can be hacked, so why in the heck are we using computers to vote? But anyway, great guy. Anyway, this is Dan Scavino. He's going to quote him. But let's see, what does he say? He says, former Harvard law students praise Kavanaugh in letter. And And so there's an article about the Harvard Law students praising Kavanaugh, who Donald Trump nominated for the Supreme Court of the United States. So, of course, the Democrats didn't matter if he nominated Jesus Christ to serve in this. Probably they would really blackball him if it was Jesus Christ they nominated to be on the Supreme Court. But they're gonna go apoplectic on whoever it is that they do, and then see what it's so great if they bork this guy. Borking means that they don't let him get through, and so that the full Senate can vote on him. If the judiciary gets him to not be able to be nominated, be put on the court, then they're going to look like even bigger jerks than they already do look like come November. So we're just going to have a landslide. Anybody dumb enough to vote for a Democrat in this upcoming primary really should have their voter card maybe removed or change the address on them. I'm not implying that we should do anything illegal, but it's really would be unfortunate if they gain any seats in the Congress, even though that's standard practice, operating procedure in past. But this is anything but the normal presidency. So next one. Well, this is weird. Oh, Donald Trump is retweeting. That's Dan Scavino's. More winning. American jobless claims dropped to lowest level since 1969. More winning. This is and it's a Breitbart article. American jobless claims dropped to lowest level since 1969. That's great. Okay, so then we go and then he says so important, should have been done years ago. And he's again quoting Dan Scavino Jr. And says President Trump is getting NATO countries to pay their fair share. And then he links to a Daily Caller article on that. Then there's a video, and it's very short, so I think I'll let you listen to it. Will the Dems fake news ever learn? This is classic, and it looks like it's a video of Hillary Clinton, so let's listen.
I mean, we want very much to have a strong Russia, because a strong, competent, prosperous, stable Russia is, we think, in the interest of the world.
There's Hillary Clinton. She likes a strong Russia. So what's the problem? Hello? Yeah, she likes a strong Russia. That's why she sold 20% of our uranium to Russia. Okay, so now, the summit with Russia was a great success, except with the real enemy of the people, the fake news media. I look forward to our second meeting so that we can start implementing some of the many things discussed, including stopping terrorism, security for Israel, nuclear. And then he says, I told you so. The European Union just slapped a $5 billion fine on our great companies, Google. They truly have taken advantage of the U.S., but not for long. This is weird because we're now back to the 19th. Oh, because he's retweeting something I don't know. Anyway, then we're back to the 20th. I got severely criticized by the fake news media for being too nice to President Putin. In the old days, they would call it diplomacy. If I was loud and vivacious, if I was loud and vicious, I would have been criticized for being too tough. Remember when they said I was too tough with Chairman Kim? Hypocrites! Exclamation point. I mean, okay, so then this is, he's retweeting his daughter Ivanka Trump's tweet. And her tweet is, National Council of American Workers, together with the private sector, is working to equip students and workers with skills they need to succeed in the jobs being created across the country and ensure America's workforce remains the best in the world. And then hashtag workforce development. And this is, I'll just let you listen to a little bit. It's 43 seconds long, but she is so
I'm honored that the President has asked me to lead the White House's effort to spur job creation and economic opportunity through vocational education and workforce development. The president pledged to fight for the forgotten men and women of America, and that is exactly what he said. And that is what today is all about. We want to open new pathways for all Americans to secure better jobs and bigger paychecks. Today, the president is launching a national workforce strategy. We're calling upon government and the private sector to equip our students and workers with the skills they need to thrive in the modern economy.
Okay, that's great. She's just so elegant. Okay, so I'm sorry. Somebody commented that my video is not that great. Sorry. I guess it's, you know what? I got that Google the fiber, and it's supposed to be so good, and it's not so good in this room. And I'm sorry. Do the best I can. That's why I'm also recording it on my computer, and then I'll upload it later on my YouTube channel. So if you want to revisit it at a better thing. But I really appreciate any of you that are watching it live. Thank you so much, especially those of you who might be watching it on the 4 or 5 people that might be watching it on YouTube, because I have been so heavily banned. They don't like the Lisa. Okay, the NFL national anthem debate is alive and well again. Can't believe it. Isn't it in the contract that players must stand at attention? Hand on heart, question mark. The $40 million commissioner must make a stand. First time kneeling, out for the game. Second time kneeling, out for the season with no pay. Now there's a strategy. This just makes no sense. I don't know. Do they want to keep having people watch the NFL? Do they have a survival thing? Do they have a death wish? What's going on? And there's no reason for it. Donald Trump said, if you're protesting me or because you think that there's some injustice, why don't you come talk to me at the White House? I love to listen to you. That's basically what he told him at one point. Okay, inconceivable that the government would break into a lawyer's office, in parentheses, early in the morning. Almost unheard of. I've never heard of an investigator breaking into a lawyer's office. Even more inconceivable that a lawyer would tape a client, totally unheard of and perhaps illegal. The good news is that your favorite president did nothing wrong. Exclamation point. I love it. I love it. They just won't stop. That Mueller investigation is the scariest thing. I mean, what a witch hunt. I mean, but you know what? Here's the thing. It's actually making him look like much more, making him look more vulnerable and more, not vulnerable is the wrong word, making him look like a much more sympathetic person because he's being attacked constantly. So the people that maybe be on the fence and might consider liking Donald Trump after all the amazing things he's done for our country and making our lives so much better. But at some point he's gonna have to fire him. I'm hoping it's sooner rather than later, but maybe he's wanting to wait until after the election. So more important, you've got to make sure, find out when your primary is. If you haven't had your primary, we haven't had ours yet in Kansas, and I got to do all my research. But go for this person who is the most, has the most integrity. And don't be afraid to try somebody new in the primary. Do not try somebody new in the general election. It's real simple in the general election. You vote for the Republican regardless, even if they are a rhino, Republican in name only, which I believe I have in my district. But anyway, okay, next. This is 5 hours ago. This is today, the 21st. The rigged witch hunt headed by the 13 angry Democrats, parentheses, and now 4 more have been added, one who worked directly for Obama and WH. Unbelievable. Seems intent on damaging the Republican Party's chances in the November election. This Democrat excuse for losing the 2016 election never ends. Okay, no collusion, no obstruction. But that doesn't matter because the 13 angry Democrats who are only after Republicans and totally protecting Democrats want the witch hunt to drag on to the November election. Republicans better get smart, fast, and expose what they are doing. That's right. He's waiting for other people to do it because If he calls it off, then they can pull a Nixon and say, "Oh, look, he's firing him because they have something on him and he looks guilty," makes him look guilty. So I think Jeff Sessions needs to do it. But I'm sure there's a lot of timing involved in this. Again, they have to have a reason to get you to go out to the polls and make sure you vote Republican, because this is just scary. I mean, I hope they've figured out some of these rigged elections. In some of these states, like in the West Coast, it's completely rigged. It's all vote by mail fraud. Dogs, cats, long dead relatives, underage children, cartoon characters all determine the elections. California, Washington, and Oregon. I know, because I lived in Oregon for 22 years, investigated it for 13. Okay, next one, 4 hours ago. Brian Kemp, who is running for governor of Georgia and has my full endorsement, is campaigning tonight with VP Mike Pence. Brian is very strong on crime and borders, loves our military, vets, and the Second Amendment. He will be a great governor. So those of you who live in Georgia, make sure you remember a name by the name of Brian Kemp for governor. Okay, so he's probably running primary, maybe? I don't know if he's running primary or general. But anyway, Brian Kemp's the name. Okay, now, Troy Balderson of Ohio is running for Congress against a Nancy with Election Day on August 7th. Troy has my full and total endorsement. Now, watching Los Angeles, and this is the last one. I'll refresh it just to see if anything. This was 3 hours ago. I doubt he's doing any more. It's probably too late. But watching Los Angeles possible hostage situation very closely. Active barricaded suspect. LAPD working with federal law enforcement. Ooh. Something terrible, hostage situation I didn't even know about. See, if you have Twitter, you can a lot of times find out real quickly about a lot of the things that are going on in the news that you might not have. Okay, now I'm gonna have to move this thing to figure out, because I've got my little mobile devices that are doing I don't know how to do a lot of this stuff on my computer, okay, so let's see. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's it. So that's it. Okay. Okay, so now I want to go to listen to okay, this is the important part of the Trump Putin. Hello. Sorry. The Trump. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I'm not doing a self thingy on this. So the Trump Putin
actually. Mr. President, I'll give this ball to you, and now the ball is in your court.
I think that's symbolic. He's passing the ball to Donald Trump.
Will host the World Cup in 2026.
That's right. Thank you very much. We do host it, and we hope we do as good a job. That's very nice. That will go to my son Barron. We have no question. In fact, Melania, here you go. Okay.
The final question from the United States will go to Jonathan Lemire from the AP.
This guy just is snarky as heck, this question. But the answer he gets is this is what's driving the left is absolutely bonkers.
President Trump, you first. Just now, President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe? My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Why haven't they taken the server? Why was the FBI told to leave the office of the Democratic National Committee? I've been wondering that. I've been asking that for months and months, and I've been tweeting it out and calling it out on social media. Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server, and what is the server saying? With that being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin He just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the server. But I have confidence in both parties. I really believe that this will probably go on for a while, but I don't think it can go on without finding out what happened to the server. What happened to the servers of the Pakistani gentlemen?
The
who
Awan
worked on
brothers.
The DNC. Where are those servers? They're missing. Where are they? What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails gone, just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone so easily. I think it's a disgrace that we can't get Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails. So I have great confidence in my intelligence people.
It doesn't matter
But,
what that guy has.
I will tell
He
you
was
that
gonna
President
answer
Putin
this
was
and
extremely
get some
strong and
information out there to
powerful
the masses that
in
aren't
his
getting it from the
denial
mainstream
today.
media.
And what he did is an incredible offer. He offered to have the people working on the case come and work with their investigators with respect to the 12 people. I think that's an incredible offer. Okay, thank you.
Позвольте мне добавить два слова.
I'd like to add something to this.
Я тоже работал в разведке
After all, I was an intelligence officer myself,
и знаю, как составляются соответствующие досье.
and I do know how dossiers are made up.
Just a minute.
Just a second.
Это первое.
That's the first thing.
Второе.
Now the second thing.
Я считаю Россию демократическим государством.
I believe that Russia is a democratic state,
Не отказываете
and I
в этом
hope you're not
своей стране.
denying this right to your own country. You're not denying that United States is democracy. Do you believe United States is a democracy?
А если это так,
Well, we should
if
be.
so,
No, we're a republic.
If it is a
Sorry,
democratic state,
Vladimir.
then the final conclusion in this kind of a dispute can only be delivered by a trial, by the court, not by the executive, by the law enforcement.
ресторатор,
For instance, the Concord company that was brought up is being accused.
государство.
It's been accused of
Даже если
interference.
так, могу себе
But
представить.
this company does not constitute the Russian state. It does not represent the Russian state.
Just
I
happens
brought
to be
several
in Russia
examples
or something.
before.
Does business in Russia.
Состояние.
Well, you have a lot of individuals in the United States. Take George Soros, for instance, with
It brings up
multi-billion
George Soros. I love it.
capitals. But it does it make him
Позиция частного лица.
his position, his posture, the posture of the United States?
No,
it
I
does
hope not.
Well, it's the same case. There is
Личные инстанции.
the issue of trying a case in the court, and the final,
Посмотрим.
the
Это
final
касается
say
частных только лиц,
is for the court to deliver.
уже не государств.
We are now talking about the private, the individuals, and not about particular states. And as far as the most recent allegation is concerned about the Russian intelligence officers, we do have an intergovernmental treaty. Please do send us the request. We will analyze it properly and we'll send a formal response. And as I said, we can extend this cooperation, but we should do it on a reciprocal basis, because we would await our Russian counterparts to provide us access to the persons of interest for us, who we believe can have something to do with the intelligence services. Let's discuss the specific issues and not use the Russia and the U.S. relationship as a loose change, for
Thanks, Lauren,
internal
watching me
political
on
struggle.
YouTube. That's so sweet of you. Thank
A
you.
question for President Putin.
For
Thank
watching.
you. Two questions for you, sir. Can you tell me what President Trump may have indicated to you about officially recognizing Crimea as part of Russia? And then secondly, sir, does the Russian government have any compromising material on President Trump or his family?
It's just ridiculous. Oh, yeah, he's going to tell you, yes, I actually do have some compromising information.
Президента Трампа
Just laugh.
President Trump,
Just like,
well, posture of President Trump on Crimea is well known,
oh, gosh.
and he stands firmly by it. He continued to maintain that it was illegal to annex it. Our viewpoint is different. We held a referendum in strict compliance with the UN Charter and the international
So
legislation.
they feel like they voted
For
on
us,
it.
this issue, we put paid to this issue.
каких-то компроматов.
And now to the compromising material. I did heard
Якобы мы собирали
these rumors that we allegedly collected compromising material on Mr. Trump when he was visiting Moscow.
Когда господин
Well,
Трамп
distinguished colleague, let me tell you this. When President Trump visited Moscow back then, I didn't even know that he was in Moscow. I treat President Trump with utmost respect. But back then, when he was a private individual, a businessman, nobody informed me that he was in Moscow. Well, let's take St. Petersburg Economic Forum, for instance. There were over 500 American businessmen, the high-ranking, the high-level ones. I don't even remember the last names of each and every one of them. Well, do you remember, do you think that we try to collect compromising material on each and every single one of them?
It's
Well,
just so
difficult to
crazy.
imagine another nonsense of a bigger scale than this. Well, please just disregard these issues and don't think
This
about
is
this anymore again.
nonsense.
And I have to say, if they had it, it would have been out long ago. And if anybody watched Peter Strzok testify over the last couple of days, and I was in Brussels watching it, it was a disgrace to the FBI. It was a disgrace to our country. And you would say that was a total witch hunt. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, so that was great. What an idiot from the AP. But it was just great. Trump just turned it right back on it because remember, if you saw this from the beginning of my video, if not, you can rewind it, and these are live. But the number one thing that they do in order to propagandize, the news media has been exposed as nothing but propaganda tools for the left-wing liberal Democrats. Okay, they tell you what they want you to believe, not what is actually the truth. They color it, then the way in which they say it, they'll say it completely differently when they say it about Hillary Clinton to make it sound positive, the same exact activity. And then when they talk about something that the same activity with Donald Trump, they'll make it sound nefarious. So that's what they do. And the only way Donald Trump can get the actual truth out and not be portrayed the way the news media wants you to believe him to be is to go directly to the people. And he does it through the tweets, which is why I'm doing these live Trump tweet updates, primarily for those of you that are watching this on YouTube that just don't want to get a Twitter account, don't understand Twitter, don't want to do the Twitter, you just want to know what Donald Trump has to say. So that's a little service I'm doing for you. Again, you can read all my Donald Trump's previous tweets and catch up with us if you go to my blog, conservativelisa.blogspot.com, and at the top of there's pages, and one of the pages says Donald said Trump true tweets and more. And then you can go, and I've got them dated, and you can watch the video and find out what Donald Trump is actually saying to you and not rely on the fake stream media. So, this is another interesting thing. Guess what? Guess who's flying coach? Guess who's flying coach? Okay, this is going to be for the video that I'm going to upload later, because those of you that are just watching this on, well, I might I'll flip her around a little bit. Okay, here goes. Periscope people, I'm going to show it to you real quick. There it is. There they are. There they are. There they are. There they are. There we go. There they are. That is who's flying coach. Who's flying coach? Who's flying coach? There he is. There's people on Facebook. Okay, there it is. Okay, so. Okay. I'm gonna just watch this. This is just so funny. This is the video of them sitting in first class, reading their books, and then he's flying. They're flying coach. Oh God! What a crook! What a crooks! What a couple of crooks! Crooked. Not just crooked. They're evil. They're evil. If you go check out the Clinton body count, I mean, it's just evil. They're evil. They're evil. If you liked them before, unfortunately, Donald Trump did an executive order that has gotten zero play on the mainstream media on December 21st. Go and read it. Do a little Google search for executive order December 21st, 2017, and you will see that he froze it was to freeze the assets of all people worldwide that have money in the United States, I assume. freeze their assets. No money, no more dinero for you, for anybody guilty of crimes against humanity. So check that out. And is this pre-recorded? No, this is live right now, but it will be pre-recorded when it gets uploaded to YouTube. But anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really wanted to go over with. Anyway, my 2 blogs, if you want to find my spiritual blog about the God and things like that, you want to look at lisamichaels.blogspot.com. If you want to look at my conservative one, that my main blog, it's again conservativelisa.blogspot.com. And I have not updated my conservativecrew.blogspot.com, which was really could have been used this year, but I've been very busy. I do work for a living, and that's why I'm not charging anything. I'm not selling anything. I just want to get the information out there because this is the only way people can really get the information, the truth, because the news media is completely crooked. And with that, we have to end. Thank you so much for watching my live cast. If you watch this live, and please comment, put the date, how many likes, how many dislikes, a comment on the video. I'd love to hear what you have to say, whether it's good or bad. It's all good. It's all good in my mind. Nothing, and there's no upside for negativity. There's no upside for hate. There's no upside for any of it. We gotta love. We're put on this planet to love each other, care for each other, and put other people's interests before our own, because that's why God created us, and that's what I try to do. So, dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for all the kind people that took an interest in this video, and we want to help ask that you help each and every one of the people that have seen this video to get a closer relationship with you through your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. No one comes to the Father except through the Son. We all fall short. All have fallen short of the glory of God. We're all sinful, and we all ask you to please forgive us for all the things that we do wrong, Lord. And we ask you to continue to bless everyone that has watched this, everyone that's watched this, and all the people that they know and are related to. And our special prayers go out to the family of the Secret Service agent Noel, who passed away, and also to the 4 victims down near Branson and the duck boat disaster. And if